So, in response to yielding to the Kardashians' family for the second time, now in public, in this rather disastrous format, Kendall posted a series of revenge posts. It seems she thinks our suffering has been the same over the past 600 plus days, or that she's justified in her anger over the video I made detailing her betrayal. I can do whatever I want, and only my happiness matters, is what this comes across as. More on this later on the video. On the other hand, she's done the bare minimum to make this clearer for those still in disbelief via these short clips.
I feel like everyone's just ordering espresso martinis these days. It's like all the rage. When did they even become a thing? Let's Google it. The espresso martini is said to have been invented in a London club in the 1980s when a fashion model famously asked the bartender for a cocktail that would, quote, wake me up and f me up. Okay, well that sort of feels like an urban legend, but I love the story. So I'm going to choose to believe it, even though it's best not to believe everything you see on the internet.
Sorry I'm late. I'm really craving an 818 espresso martini. Do you want one?
Of course I want one.
Lots of hype. Is she keeping this going to reflect her father's long-distance accomplishments? Meanwhile, Kim is being quite upfront about her crimes, posting this comedic story promoting a Star Wars branded hot sauce called Dark Side by a company called Truff, which sounds similar to truth. This is in response to a comparison I made a year ago comparing her to a Sith Lord. The comedy will be appreciated once we are past this. For those still in denial, consider her role in her recent film, American Horror Story, Delicate, This Hot Sauce, and her podcast she made last year with the spooky music, The System. It seems she is challenging those in the know and making it clearer for newcomers, followed by a trip to meet Kamala Harris. Sin, 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 followed by a philanthropy post. It's like a video game once you observe what's really going on below. It seems to me that we've exceeded Kim's limit and she's afraid of being left behind and has resorted to playing dirty to keep up. Perhaps she has always done so, hence the mischief. The Green Witch from Wizard of Oz comes to mind. Green meaning jealousy, stirring her stew in a big technological cauldron. Now, people who are afraid use fear. People who are afraid, unable to contend with grace, will conjure any manipulative tactic to be victorious when this is what they've been conditioned to do without adequate guidance to know when is enough. It's going to be okay, Kim. There is enough for everyone. In other news, I bought a new phone recently, which was hacked again because I'd used a bank card to make a purchase. Thank you to Emily for letting me know. Edward Snowden, NSA, Pegasus, do your research. This is the practical application of what Edward warned us about back in 2013, and is very real for the corrupt to misuse for their self-interested gain. So what now? Where are we going? Consider this an adjustment period. This is rather shocking to those who have recently learned of this affair. This is happening, and it would be wise to integrate this into your current perception of what is within the realm of possibility. Consider this a measure to diffuse any leftover jealousy moving forward. I believe I've earned immunity from jealous eyes and bitter flakes by suffering for this long in the open, whilst being as generous and patient as I have. Consider this a demo of who I am and who I will be moving forward. Unwavering, devoted. Kendall, boys may only want love if it's torture, but I am a man. Hot, cold, in, out isn't doing anything to increase your sense of control over me. It may have worked in the past, but this will require expansion and will, a software update. If you leave your fear behind, love will comfort you a lot more than this, which is simply patchwork, keeping fear at bay. We need to go deeper, to control and to lead. One is based in fear, the other is love. When you observe control over leading, understand that this translates to I am afraid. If you watch the first video, it's clear that this fight is unjustifiable and doesn't make sense. There is zero moral, ethical, rational, or legal reason to keep the charade going. So what's happening? It seems as if Kendall needs a fight and wants me to be like her father so she can win / have an alternative ending. We are similar, it seems, but also quite different. Her family have granted her this power, and it's as if she's using it to push me to become like him, antagonistic, to recreate the setting of her relationship to man so she can win and have this temporary relief. But I'm not him, nor do I care for winning a fight that doesn't add up. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but frames cannot hurt me. As far as relationships go, I believe a man should see his woman as a queen. A queen is not a loser. A woman should see her man as a king. A king is not a loser. So how does man and woman reach the point of respecting each other as king and queen? This is one element blocking us. Another is the fact that her father left. This has been difficult for her to process and has shaped her relationship with men. So combine the two equals control to defend against the threat of antagonism based on her past experience, plus control to prevent the man from ever leaving. Another is her relationships with men as an adult. Lots of competition, lots of shame. I've been discovered and presented as one to humble many of her exes. So this is another revenge element. By defeating me, she is seemingly defeating others by proxy. It also mirrors her family dynamic and the tension from the competition. Another is simply jealousy. It's hard for singers to maintain relationships in general due to the nature of the job, and it's apparent she's carried over some residual envy from her previous relationships with notable singers. Consider this event is all being expressed through music. Finally, based on my observation for the past 600 plus days, their family business is based on drama, in which Kim has dominated and pushed Kendall out in more recent seasons, if you've noticed, as well as her brother Rob from the show completely. This is a drama in which she can be the focal point. Screen time, to be seen, to be heard. In conclusion, she is keeping me at arm's length to defend herself from the threat of being judged by someone she values, whose word she trusts. Controlling me from leaving through her family in this installation. Taking shots while her family has me metaphorically tied up, and stopping time from moving forward to control her jealousy of me singing. This is her season of the Kardashians. Having gone through all this, Kendall, can you handle yourself to be in a relationship of this altitude? If you can, come with me on the road, and when we have our first child, I'll stay home. In closing, I'm going to say this is more than just me and my partner. There's different branches in the celebrity courtyard of this tree, and focuses are subject to shift as we go through this maiden voyage to maintain order in the court, so to speak. The format and style of communication is inherently fluid, like a T-1000 in Terminator 2, morphing and changing its form in its pursuit. We are crossing the narrow sea. The waters are treacherous, the conditions harsh, but we will persevere and arrive at our destination with clarity, hope, and lots of new music. Kendall, I'm extinguishing Kim's hellfire and doing my part to create peace in our home. I trust you will do the same.